Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to Lindy's Treehouse. It's Thankful Thursday, and I'm thankful for all of you being here with me tonight. Holy moly, is it Thursday already? The days are just flying by. I'm telling you what, holy moly, that's the word of the night. Holy moly, because got some storms brewing outside tonight, and we'll see. We'll see how. Sorry, my laptop kind of shifted a little bit because Miss Molly is on my desk tonight. She's on the other side. Yes, yeah, she's chilling. So we share the desk every Thursday night. But I'm Paramount USA, and this is Lindy's Treehouse. Come on up. We have a great time on Thursday nights, don't we? We have John Wayne in the house. Hi, John Wayne Cowboy. How you doing? And we got Bill H in the house. Whoa, there goes my mouse. She's like almost pushing my laptop on my lap. Okay, so this is getting a little bit, it's like a fight, okay? She's got half of the desk. Miss Molly, my kitty, is like laying on half the desk now. This is getting to be a little bit much. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah, come on up, everybody. Come to my tree house. This is Lindy's tree house on Thursday nights. Thankful Thursday, because we are thankful, and I am thankful for having all of you here with me tonight. And it's kind of a special night because why is it special, you ask? Because this is my 50th show. Yes. Can you believe it? I've been doing, this is my 50th live stream. I have to call it a live stream. It's not a podcast, as Scooby-Doo tells me. It's not a podcast. It's a live stream. Darling, it's a live stream. Anyway, Scooby-Doo, that's for you. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I'm really proud of myself. Let me know how my lighting looks, okay? Because I've got a different light bulb, my fancy lighting on the side here on my side desk. So let me know if the lighting looks okay, because I can't tell, even with my glasses on. So, oh yay, Bill! Bill got his koozie. Good deal. I'm so happy that you did. I just sent out yesterday. I just sent out the those socks for Scotty. So it's pretty fun. Yes, peeps. I don't know if I'm doing any giveaways tonight, because I know a lot of everybody's at Bad Apples, and a lot of people are at the Bad Apples flying. But I decided, to have a show anyway, because I know not everybody's going to be there. So, Scotty, your socks are on the way. We give away these Airhead socks when I have we do trivias every week. And I'm not sure if we're going to do trivia tonight or not, because it depends on how many people jump in the chat tonight, too. We give these away, or my fancy koozies, which I think I brought them here on the desk. I wasn't very prepared tonight. But yeah, I'll grab those koozies. Yeah, I'm having fun. I love giving things away. I love giving things away. I love seeing people happy and having fun. That's what it's about. That's what it is about, my peeps. I have everything over on my chair over here, because I have limited desk room, because I have, Molly is sharing the desk with me tonight as usual. So, but I have all my fancy notes in here. You know how I write things for the show, and we just kind of, if anybody all my listeners and viewers, if you've never watched my show before, we just talk about pretty much anything every week. We do fun facts, we do trivias, we talk about food, we talk about people's, what people are doing, things like that. We talk about life, and it's fun. We really have a good time. We do talk paramotor sometimes. because that's what we do. And I tell you what, I'm just having a really good time with doing this, doing my show. I really am. I'm enjoying everybody. And Molly, Molly, yeah, you just saw that. Molly's trying to steal the show. Yes. But everybody's just watching right now. You never know what's going to happen. She's checking out my laptop right now. Yeah. As long as she doesn't like knock it over, we're good. Have the show crash. Now she's distracted because there's something outside. Because right on the other side, there's thank you, Angela. Angela's in the chat tonight. Hi, Angela. Thank you. Angela said, "Nice hat, Linda." Yeah, I like this hat. I don't wear it very often. I'm due for another hat. Like I like my other one, but it's kind of like I told you, it needs some shaping. Needs the hat needs to be shaped or something, or I overshaped it, and I don't know. But anyway, this hat's from, I bought this in Arizona, my cowboy hat and Boot Barn. So it's pretty fun. But I'm so happy that I got some chatters already in the house. We got Angela in the house. Angela. We got Scott in the house. We have Bill H in the house, and we have Cowboy John. I'm super excited tonight. I really am. I'm trying to get all psyched up here for my, for the show. Like I said, we have these fancy airhead socks that we'll give away. We do trivias. And hi, Tony. Tony just got in the house here. Just climbed up the treehouse. What's up, Tony, Mr. Vegas? I'm so glad that you're here tonight. I'm like speechless for some reason. I'm just super excited about having you all here to celebrate my 50th show. I've had so much fun with it. I tell you what. And then I started in June. It'll be a year, right, that I started doing my show. And I am, anybody who's just jumping into the chat or jumping on the show, all that stuff. I'm all tongue-tied tonight. I am Paramom USA, and the name of my show is Lindy's Treehouse. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and hit the notification bell, and tell your friends, come on by, say hi. We always have a good time at Thursday nights. And I'm thankful. I'm celebrating you guys and gals too, because without you, I wouldn't have this show as long as I've had it. Without you following me and people viewing, I got a lot of viewers, people watching it, I wouldn't have the show, already. I wouldn't have the show if it wasn't for everybody else supporting me and just being there for me, really helping me with my confidence and everything. Because believe me, this is not for the faint of heart. So, yeah, Angela said, have y'all been following our friends at Bad Apples? Yeah, I've been watching it. It looks like a lot of fun. Bad Apples Fly-In. Yes, it looks super fun. I know. I wish I was there too. Tony says if I don't make the show, I'll watch later and give you a thumbs. All right, Tony, I appreciate it. You guys, Tony, Angela, from day one, you guys encouraged me to do this. And I really appreciate you, Tony and Angela. I mean, big hearts. You guys, you're the ones that really helped me get my confidence and just to do this show. I know my daughter-in-law, she asked me last year about this time, why don't you start a show on Thursday nights? And I was just like, I don't know if I can do that. Me do another show. What do you got to do? And all this stuff. So I had a lot of help. People jumped in. A lot of team players jumped in to help me get my show started. And the rest is history. And I'm so thankful for all of you. I had Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo helped me get my show going the first time or second time. And then I had Jade Lear, JD. She, my flying flamingo Jade, she helped me get all the technical stuff done on my StreamYard. And I'm forever thankful for these people in my life that are helping me along and encourage me to do the show, because, it'd been really easy to give up on it a few times. And I learned that everybody, everybody has their day at the park, right? So Angela said, let's hear about your birthday. My birthday was really nice. It actually started on Friday. And that last Friday, so I had like 3 days to play. And last Friday, Tony says FFJ is a TikTok famous now. Just saying. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Tony, she is, but I'm not. I know I'm going to sound like really terrible, whatever. I'm not a fan of TikTok. I have it, but I don't use it. So the TikTok people are going to be like, what? You're not a fan of TikTok? I don't know. It seems like when I did try the TikTok, there's so much going on. I don't know how to use it correctly, or I'm getting like thousands of emails, from TikTok and alerts and all this stuff. So, yeah, Angela. Yeah, Angela says I hate TikTok. Yeah, I want to help people and everything, and my daughter-in-law uses it for a lot of things, for her projects. Give her ideas for her projects at work. But I'm not that crazy. I'm really not that crazy about it. I did get the password and do all the TikTok stuff, but I don't use it. I really don't use it. So anyway, I had a really nice birthday. Friday we went out, my daughter-in-law, and took me out to lunch, and we went out for the whole day. It was really nice. We went to this really nice place for lunch. She surprised me. It was a really cute place. Traverse. What was it? Traverse Cafe or something like that. And so I ate some walleye because I love fish. And then Saturday, what did we do on Saturday? Did I go to my son's house on Saturday? I'm thinking, but maybe it was Saturday. We went out to eat and everything, and then Sunday I went to my son's house for dinner, and barbecued. And then Sunday morning we had a brunch. We had a brunch with my daughter-in-law and her daughter and the grandbaby, her little grandchild. So it was nice. It was a really good weekend. I think Saturday what we did, we did some shopping on Saturday, I believe. I never remember one day the next, but anyway, it was a good weekend. It really was. I'm very blessed. I'm blessed to have all you here tonight, and yeah, it feels good, to be 70 years old and to be sitting here still talking to everybody. Age, I'm telling you what, enjoy while you can, because before you know it, like I said, I have it on Facebook, you're 50, then you're 60, and then you're 70. And this stuff keeps me busy. Tony said, Gorilla, PPG Gorilla, yes, reported last time he went live, it was windy, but it's getting close to sunset. So no. Okay. Well, they're probably going to be flying. They're probably flying now, right? I don't know how the weather is over there in Florida. I know we're supposed to get some storms tonight. Right around 8 o'clock, between 8 and midnight, we're probably going to get, we're going to get the worst of it, I think, up here. And I hate nighttime storms. I don't know about you, but from what they're saying, you get a lot of lightning. Right now, it's kind of hanging around downstate, so we'll see. But yeah, so I made my notes here, and I'm dropping everything. I just dropped my pencil wherever it went. So bear with me. I told you you never know what's going to happen here. And when I drop everything, John Wayne here switched accounts. Oh, John Wayne said, okay, geriatric PPG. Okay, it's all right, John Wayne. Thank you for letting me know. I just want to say hi to everybody. Welcome. This is Lindy's Treehouse. I'm Paramount USA, and I'm here every Thursday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm always super excited to have everybody jump in the chat and just hang with me. Like I said, I always find good things to talk about. And I'm just going to kind of open up the show that I want to acknowledge, because it is my 50th show, 50. Put some party things, put party emojis in the chat for me. I'm really proud of myself. I'm just going to go through the past guests that I've had on my show and kind of reminisce too. Bill H said they're talking about the fly-in. Bill H. last I heard 5 went in the pond. Oh, good Lord. Wow. I've been behind on my watching what they're all up to at Bad Apples. Shout out to Bad Apples and Will Fly if you're listening. Hope you're all staying safe out there. They're a bunch of crazies, they are. What about we make a TikTok new social media US version? No kidding, huh? I wouldn't even know how to. I don't even know how I would make it. How you would even do that. I hardly know how to use TikTok as it is, Tony. But I want to acknowledge some past guests that we had on my show. Do y'all remember who our very first guest was? Can you put in the chat if you remember last year? Because I wrote down everybody. I wrote all the names of all the guests that I had last year. And I think I counted, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 guests. Yes, Bill H. Ding, 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 ding. You are right. We had Miss Kramer Gypsy. She was my very first guest. And that was pretty exciting. And I miss her. I do. I wish she would have stayed and been my co-host on my show every Thursday, because we all really enjoyed having her. Having her with us. And then, of course, then we had Michelle Aldridge, right? And I can't remember yesterday. Come on. I know, right, Tony? I'm still trying to remember what I did on last Saturday for my birthday. I'm pretty sure we went shopping. And when we went and did, me and my daughter-in-law went and did some shopping. I'm sure that's what we did last Saturday. Because I like to go to my fun places or whatever. And then, of course, Sunday, had a really nice brunch at Bob Evans. And then after that, I went over to my daughter-in-law's house and spent the day with him, watching bull riding and all that stuff. And but anyway, so we had Linda Kramer, and then we have Michelle Aldridge, right? Miss Thumper. She's doing really good. She's her wedding anniversary. I think she just had her wedding anniversary. And she's married to a trucker. And Randy is her husband's name. Super nice people. And Michelle's doing really good. She's working her 2 jobs like she does. A hardworking lady she is. And then no particular order, okay? I just kind of wrote down all the guests that I've had, and no particular order, okay? So then we had Danny Williamson, remember, not too long ago, and no news from Scuba. Oh, well, isn't Scooby-Doo? He's not going to that flying, is he? He's going to be, isn't he going to be at his own flying? What is this? shore, what is it, fly the shore or whatever it is there, something like that, Tony. I think that's where he's going to be at. I think, what is it? Soar the shore? How do you say it? Anybody know? What's that flying that Scooby-Doo goes to? Scooby-Doo, if you're listening, jump in the chat. But we had Danny Williamson was my guest. Then we had Barry Shepherd. Remember Barry Shepherd? Soar the shore. Thank you, Scott. Try to say that fast 3 times. Soar the shore. Soar the shore. So comes out like shark, doesn't it? Soar the shore. Tony says, yeah, I would think he would do some video just saying Gorilla has gone live. Just saying. Oh, okay. Is Gorilla live now? Is he live now? I assumed they were going to do some kind of video tonight. That's okay. You know. Anyway, so we had Barry Shepherd, my bull rider, right? I had Barry Shepherd, my guest on my show. And Tony said, no, they're not doing a show. Okay, cool. So we had Barry Shepherd, remember, my bull riding friend. That was fun. We had Sean Natsfer, the kiting king. I had Wendy Weaver. Remember, Wendy was on our show. Walter is in the house. Hi, Walter. Sugar. Good day, all. He's off now. All right, he's off now. What's going on, Walter, in Australia? Well, we know there's a tomorrow because Walter's in the house. Tony says, I'm just saying I would like to hear about Scuba's flying. Just saying. Oh, I thought his flying. Yeah, it is this weekend, right, Tony? Scooby-Doo's, his flying, right? Then we had Wendy Weaver, right, was the guest. We had Rachel Williamson. We had Greg Laney. Stephen Minty was our guest. We had Anthony Vella. Scott Savage, you were a guest. Remember Scotty? Joe Adele was a guest. Millie Wallace, Paragliding Pixie, was my guest. And Jay Lear, remember Jay Lear jumped in the studio with me. That was fun. I miss her. And then we had Scuba Steve. He was on for a little while too. So thank you all, my past guests. And I'm writing it all in my book because I acknowledge everybody, and so I can remember, who came on my show. And I really appreciate y'all. I really do. And anybody, if you know anybody that wants to be a guest on the show to help promote their book or their business, whatever they might be doing, send them over to me. Tell them they can DM me and say, hey, I want to talk about this or that. Can I want to come on your show, and send them over. That's what the show's about too, right? I like to see people succeed. And that's why I had Greg Laney on my show, because I knew he was writing a book and I wanted him to promote his book. So it was really fun to have him on the show, and he's done really well with his book so far, So it's pretty good, pretty cool. I love helping people out, and I love, like I said, I do this for you guys. I do it for me. I'm in no competition with anybody on these shows. I follow everybody, and like I said, I want to see everybody succeed. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and I have to thank you all for being here tonight for my 50th show. It's pretty exciting. So we do a lot of trivia, and we give away things. And Tony says, gotta go, but thanks, Linda. Okay, Tony, take it easy, Mr. Vegas. Thanks for stopping by. Go eat your dinner. I know it's a time difference and you got stuff to do. Plus, congratulations on getting your house. I'm super excited for you, Tony and Angela. I really am. I think that is so cool. Takes me way back when I bought my first house in 1979. That's when I bought my first house in Detroit. I sure did. Bill H., when did you buy your first house? And when did you buy your first house, John Wayne? Because we're all about the same age. When did you guys buy your first house? I think that's pretty exciting. I would say shout out to JD, Jade and Eric. I have to say happy birthday to Eric Lear. He just had a birthday. And I'm super excited. I'm hoping to see them at the Torchport Fly-In, which is next weekend, Memorial Weekend. I'm going to go there probably on a Saturday. So I'll be able to see Joe Adele and see Tracy and Tim will be there. A bunch of people. Alexis and Justin are going to be there. And pretty cool. John Wayne said first house 1981. And Bill H said 7 years later. Scott says I was born in 1981. Yeah. Yeah, Scott, we're that old. We're that old. Yeah, I had a cute house, a little bungalow. And it was nice. It was a really cute little house. And then we only lived in the house. I only lived in the house for like a year. And then my ex at the time lost a job. So we sold the house and moved to Arizona because from Michigan, right? So I'm talking about, I had a house in Michigan downstate. And then we sold the house a year later and moved to Arizona. So Robert was just a year old when we moved out of Michigan, moved to Arizona. So, yeah. So Bill H says got married in 79, had a kid in 80. Yeah, my first marriage, I got married in 1977. Sure did. December 17th, 1977, got married. And then yeah. And then I got divorced umpteen years later. And then I got married again. And then I got divorced again umpteen later. And so, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with all that nonsense. You know, I'm done with all. I mean, if y'all find your happy person, good for you. I won't tell you, don't go find that happy person, your happy person, but me personally, my happy person is me. That's me. I'm a happy person and I don't need anybody else, to feel, I don't feel like there's a void in my life anymore because I've got my family. I've got my friends. I've got you guys when I do the show every week. I'm blessed. I've got my cute little place here. And I always think, I always thank God for it and just be thankful what you have. Because, somebody else is looking at you wishing they had it. And it's all the little things that are big things to me, got this apartment. I had a beautiful house in Arizona and whatnot, but at least living up here, I don't have any maintenance to worry about. If I do, I just call the landlord and, they come out and fix whatever I need. They replace things. 2 years ago, I got a brand new stove in here, things like that, So has its ups. Yes, it does. Scott says, I got married in 2012, first house in 2013. Good for you, Scott. Good for you. I'm sure you're glad you bought your house when you did. So I tell you what, even people up here, the housing, it's really, really hard to find housing. And Scott says married in 2011, rather. So good for you. Now, I'm always happy when people, like I said, you find your happy person, all the more power to you, but I like my happy's me. And that's where it starts, I'm not all focused on finding that person because I don't need it. I don't need all that. I really don't. But Scott says, hell yeah, I got a fixed 3.375 interest. That's great. Yeah, I know my dad, when we got my house in Detroit, my dad helped us out with the down payment, bless his heart. And he actually helped us find a house too. So, and we were just youngsters, right? Yeah, I was 22 when I got married. So, 22. So that means I had, Brian 2 years late. I had, Robert 1980, then Ryan 1982. So I love my boys. I love my boys. They're awesome. So anyway, did you what else? Did you all notice the flower moon the other night, May 12th, day after my birthday? Was there was a flower moon? And I never heard of that before. Have you all heard of a flower moon? See, I told you, who's ever watching the show right now, my viewers and all that, we talk about all different things and all different stuff that's going on in the world. Besides politics, we don't have politics. I'll talk that. We talk about nature things and fun facts that that you wouldn't even think about. Scott says, "Good luck with that, NIE." What's NIE? NIE. Good luck with that. What's the flower moon? Did you remember that on the 12th? They said it was called the flower moon. They said it's associated with growth, renewal, and the promise of bountiful summer, giving off powerful energy. Good luck. Oh, yeah, good luck with that. Now with the interest rates. Yeah, definitely. I feel sorry for people trying to buy a house now. Yeah, but I'm happy for Angela and Tony that they got their house. They're going to have their own house now. Like, yay, no more renting. You get your own house now. It's going to feel pretty good. It's all yours. It's going to be all yours. So, so I was reading up on the flower moon, and I thought that was really interesting. I didn't know what a flower moon was because they have so many different moons, right? And so thought I'd share the facts or whatever. And did you know that 427 million birds will are going to be that's a spike in birds, and 427 million birds spike in migrating is expected this week in Michigan. So that's a lot of birds. That's a lot of birds. And they're saying that the birds are like the Orioles and the Blue Jays. People have already been spotting the Orioles and Blue Jays. And the only thing I'm seeing so far outside my window is black crows, those black crows or whatever. So, but yeah, they're saying that so all the people that have their bird seed out and everything, the bird feeders out, are really going to enjoy all the birdies. I'm starting to see more birds now. Out the trees are starting to get their leaves back and everything. And a murder of crows. Yeah, they're crows are kind of scary. They're kind of scary. Yeah, and they chase all the nice birds away. I've seen a lot of bunny rabbits around my apartment and stuff, the grass and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm going to start seeing a lot more birds, which will keep my Molly entertained, So welcome. I'm just going to say welcome, chatters, and welcome viewers, watchers, and all those people on Thursday night. I'm Paramount USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse. And I just want to make everybody feel good on Thankful Thursday, because I'm thankful for all of you. Do you remember way back, and I did that show on the cheers when everybody you want to go or everybody knows your name? I put something on Facebook with the music. I post on Facebook. And then if you noticed, my thumbnail looked different, is because I went to set up my thumbnail for my show, and I guess I forgot to hit the start to apply my thumbnail, and it didn't take it or whatever. So it's okay. Scott said, seen a few possums again already this year. Wow. I haven't seen no possums yet. Just crows and bunny rabbits and maybe a few little birdies. what else? I got my notes here. So somebody said pelicans have been seen by Lake Erie at Metro Park. They said pelicans. They're seen in Michigan. They're seeing pelicans in Michigan, and which is crazy, right? I think they're really cool animal. I'm trying to think. Is a pelican? Well, pelican's a bird. I don't think a pelican's a mammal. Yeah, I don't think a pelican is a mammal. I would have to look that up if they still call it a bird or what they call a pelican. Maybe Scott can look it up. But they're pretty cool animals. We'll have to study those sometime or some week or whatever. And then let's talk sycamore trees. I'm doing all my little fun facts here too. The sycamore tree in England, September 2023, a couple guys illegally cut down a sycamore tree that was 150 years to 200 years old. How sad. And I guess they really got in trouble for it. Scott said, I look up the city you're in. I had no idea how far north you are. I'm way up there, Scott. Not like way up there, but like right there. See, this is considered the Upper Peninsula right here. I'm not really Upper Peninsula. I call it just Northern Michigan. I'm just Northern Michigan. Yes. Bill H says, what time you miss some cooking dinner? Not much, Bill. We're just talking about, we were talking about the flower moon that was out the other night and significance of what's significant about the flower moon. And then we were talking about birds. There's going to be a bird spike. 427 million birds will be migrating into Michigan. Orioles and blue jays, yes. So I'm looking forward to going on another walk to the bay, my bayfront. I did 5 miles a couple days ago. I walked to the bayfront. And I'll tell you about that when I finish going through all my little notes and everything. So yeah, these guys in England cut down a sycamore tree. And it was 150 to 200 years old. And they got in big trouble for it because I guess it's very sacred. The sycamore tree in England is very sacred. So, yeah, I guess I'm sure we're going to get arrested or whatever. I'm sure that, it's pretty crazy. But I just want to welcome all my chatters in tonight for Lindy's Treehouse. I really appreciate it. I'm thankful Thursday. I love having y'all here. I do. I know we're going to get some storms tonight. I got my little weather channel on, and they said it's not doing anything yet, but it'll probably wait till it gets dark, and then it'll storm. Scott said the only person I know in Michigan are in Grand Rapids. Oh, yeah, I have a sis in Grand Rapids, Scott. Yeah, I got family everywhere downstate. I have Grand Rapids, sis in Holland, Michigan. My mom's downstate, St. Clair Shores. I got Macomb Township. My brother's in Macomb Township. Lake St. Clair, something like that. St. Clair, Michigan. My oldest brother lives. So we're all scattered like all over the place, but at least we're all in Michigan now. And my mommy was very happy. I called her on Mother's Day. My mommy was 98, and she's doing really good. And she's just happy that I'm happy and that I'm back in my home state where I belong, she said. And so I'm glad that I could, that I made her happy and all that. I love my family. They're awesome. So what I was going to talk about is a couple days ago, I walked this is how Mother Nature, it's so crazy. A few days ago, I walked to the bayfront and I walked to Lake Michigan. And it's only like 15-minute walk to the bayfront. And then, so by the time I got all done, I had walked 5 miles. By the time I walked around the bayfront and walked back home. But you probably saw on Facebook, there's this particular spot at the bayfront where there's you kind of go down, you have to walk a little ways, almost past the Lake Michigan. Okay. And it's kind of a hidden spot. It's kind of hidden, but I call it my hidden treasure, but it's a swamp area. There's a river, a nice, pretty river. And then there's a bridge. And the other side of the bridge is a big swamp. It's all swampy. And I would always love to stand on that bridge, on this little bridge, and take pictures every season of this beautiful swamp. Because every season, it always changed. It was always changing. And it was just so unique because I had those big old trees. They looked like weeping willow trees hanging down right into the swamp. And all kinds of different things growing in the swamp, right? And everybody would probably think like, swamp, it's pretty gross. I mean, who'd want to do all that? So I did some research on the swamp today. I hope I'm not all boring you. Just tell me. And you don't realize how important these swamp areas are, right? But when I walked up to go on my bridge, I tell you what, to walk down to the bridge, I was shocked. Okay, I was shocked. The swamp from the ice storms, right? We had all those bad ice storms. The trees that were there, that were beautiful trees that were just surrounding the swamp, were laying in the water. It broke my heart. It did. One of the trees was totally, the roots or whatever, just, you could see the roots lifted. The tree told the water from being saturated or whatever, from the ice being on the tree, it was so heavy, it knocked the tree down into the swamp. And usually where I walk on the bridge, it was all water. Like the bridge was almost underwater. And the swamp area was it was sad. It was sad. I was really, really sad when I saw it. But so I thought, well, I'm going to look up and talk about, Scott. Scott says it can really mess stuff up. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was my favorite place to go, right? To stand on that bridge and take picture, and you seeing on Facebook of that river, that beautiful river. And the river was okay. I got some good pictures of the river, but the a lot of the trees along the river were, you could tell that the storm got the best of them. Grab my water, and so. Yeah, I was just like looking at all the damage. I even walked around this little sidewalk. I had to take it around the other sidewalk to walk on the other side of the swamp area because I couldn't go on the bridge to get better pictures, But so I got some really good pictures, and there's still I'm going to go back next week. I'm going to go back and walk it again and see if they cleaned it up or what they're doing with that area, because I know it was really a mess. But did you know that swamps are among the most valuable ecosystems on Earth? I think that's very true, right? It said they act like giant sponges or reservoirs. And when heavy rain causes flooding, it says swamps and other wetlands absorb excess water, moderating the effects of flooding. They said swamps also protect coastal areas from storm surges that can wash away fragile coastline. So that's pretty interesting. And the swamps are good for, what do you call it? I mean, you have turtles and all kinds of stuff that live in the swamps, right? And they said that the variety of sources, precipitation, groundwater, and tides, and freshwater, and the freshwater flooding. So, yeah, it's starting to get dark here too, Cowboy John. Yeah, it's getting dark here too. The storms are, yeah, I'm not looking forward to the lightning storms tonight. My son actually came by and put the window AC in today too. So thank you, Ryan. My window AC in my bedroom, because it was like 79 in the apartment, like yesterday and today. And so I messaged him this morning, and he took time out of his busy day to come over and take care of his mom and put my my AC in. So my apartment, I'm going to sleep good tonight. I sleep good. My AC's, my window AC is going really nice. So it's a lifesaver. So I'm just hoping that the wind and stuff doesn't go too bad here, that we lose power again, right? That's all I need. Scott says he loves lightning storms. And he also said swamps are definitely an ecosystem of their own. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, when I saw those trees just laying in the water, I was really sad. Nice. I have central air set at 73. Yeah, when I was in Arizona, we had a heating and cooling system, and I used to keep my I used to keep my AC on 73 and 75, I believe. That was in Arizona. But Scott, you're in you're in Idaho, right? Isn't that where you're at? I always forget, Scott. But that's where you're at. So some interesting facts about the swamps, in case anybody's wondering or whatever, has any info they want to talk about what lives in the swamps. Now, I remember last year when I went on my little bridge there, and I looked over, and I had it on Facebook. I saw two turtles. They were on a log. They were on like a log, and that was laying in the water. And I thought that was the coolest thing. Idaho or Ida. That's right, Scott. That's right. I know you're going to enjoy your new socks. Yes. We're not going to do any giveaways tonight, Pete, because I'm going to wait till next week till we get everybody back. Let me grab I'm picking things up here as people are looking on here watching that maybe have not seen my show yet. I don't really do anything fancy on my show, when I do my show and I tell people, I tell people, just be yourself. Everybody has their show, and say shout out to Bad Apples and there's a lot of peeps are there tonight, and Shane's there tonight. So I'm going to say hi to Shane and Nick J's there, and they're all tearing it up, I'm sure. And if you're listening, and Will Fly, you guys be safe. We miss you. Be safe and get back here. So on Tuesday night, No Filter show, Shaney's show. We can, let's see. Cowboy says, I got to go. See ya. All right, Cowboy. Thanks for hanging with us. Give your wifey a hug for us, okay? I hope she's doing okay. Hope she's doing good. I hope she's doing okay. But I'm just glad that that I'm sure a lot of people are listening right now and watching and all that. And I'm Paramount USA, and this is Lindy's Treehouse, and I'm here every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, a lot of my peeps are at the fly-in tonight at Bad Apples, and I'm gonna be at the Torchport fly-in next weekend. And I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm going to probably go there on a Saturday and spend the day, make sure I bring bring some shade with me and my cooler and all that, because we're going to be, I'm going to be out there all day. And I'm going to try and get up in the air. We'll see. We'll see. Somebody wants to take me up. I'll definitely. Yeah, I really, I really want to go. I really want to get up in the air again, because I want to see, since the ice storms, I want to see what it looks like from above. Wouldn't that be cool, Scott? I want to see what all the trees and stuff look like from above the trees, from all the ice storms. And I think it would look really cool. It depends on who's taking me up, because I'm not going to, Scott said, will you film your flight? No, I probably, I would have to, somebody else would have to film it, because I won't take my phone up there, because knowing me, I would drop it. So because when I get up there and I'm flying up there, I'm very, focused while I'm up there and looking around and all that, and to carry a phone. But I'm sure, I don't know, I'm hoping maybe Alexis or, Justin are going to be there. So I'm hoping they can, maybe they can take me up. So we'll see. Joe Odell, if you're listening, are you out flying tonight? I know the storms are probably getting too stormy for you over there too, Joe Odell. If you're listening, listening. I can't wait to see everybody next weekend. I'm hoping to see Jade and Eric. I'm hoping they'll be there. I think it'll be really fun. Could you borrow Scott said, could you borrow a GoPro from your boy that lives close? Oh, I don't know if I don't know if Ryan's got a GoPro or not. I would have to ask him. Yeah, it would be cool though. That's if I get up in the air. But that'd be cool to see, to see what it looks like from above. From the ice storms, looking down, seeing all the trees and stuff, all the damage and whatnot. Because it's pretty sad, right? Pretty sad. Oh, here they are. If you're all listening, we usually do a trivia every week, but we're not going to do one tonight because a lot of my peeps aren't here tonight. They're all flying and everything. But this is what we do our trivia. If you guess, you win a koozie. So you get your choice, either this, or if you like whoops, wrong one. If you like tie-dye. So I love giving stuff away. And I'm going to keep, every time I go to the dollar store, I'm going to pick up little things here and there. And that's where I found these little Airhead socks. I mean, are they cutest ever? And so when we do our little trivia thing, somebody's going to go home with a pair of socks. And Scott said that, it would. I enjoy videos up high, but I don't like the heights anymore the older I get. Yeah, it doesn't, I don't know. It's a rush when I get up in the air like that. And because I've done it 3 times already, I know what to expect, going across that field in the trike, you're flying across the field. That's pretty wild. That's that's crazy part. And then I know when they, Molly's, here comes Molly. And I know what to expect, and I get super excited when I go up in the air. And I always say hi to my daddy-o up there too. So I had to move the laptop again because Miss Molly woke up from her nap. So I had to move it closer or whatever. But so you have to be present to win. See, you can't win if you don't play. So next week we'll be giving away some stuff. So I really enjoy doing this. Like I said, I love to see people happy, and these are some really nice koozies. They really are. They're very thick, and they're not cheapy cheap. And Yeah, Molly, Miss Molly is the diva. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. I don't know what happened to Scott a few days ago. Maybe it was just from the heat or something because it started getting warm up here. But I don't know. Every night I give her like one of those little treats. They're little tiny, like you break them off like chocolate, but they look like chocolate. But the little tiny square. I give her a little tiny square. Every night about 9 o'clock, I'd give her a treat. But I stopped doing that because now I'm wondering because a few mornings ago or whatever, yeah, she got sick, and so I don't know. Maybe she ate something she shouldn't have been eating. Maybe it was hairballs or something, whatever you call it. They get, but she's okay now. And after that, she was good the rest of the day. She ate and everything, but I'm not sure what was going on. But she did get sick, and I was like, "What the heck?" I guess cats do that, you know, once in a while or whatever. So, yeah. So like I said, we do giveaways every week, and every time I go to my favorite dollar store, I'll find some really cool stuff. I'll find maybe more socks to give away, some crazy socks or whatever, and find some more fun koozies. Scott says, "Have you ever given her a churro? Those are supposed to be kitty." No, no, I haven't. I haven't. No, I haven't given that to her. The treats that I gave her, that I would give her, is um, oh God, there's so many of them. Was it gourmet something? But they're just treats that they come in like little. They look like little candy bar things or whatever, like in a block, and you break them off. You break off the treat, and you snap off the little squares. And I just give her one little square. But I stopped giving those to her for right now. I don't know. I'll ask my daughter-in-law about it, what she thinks. But she's been fine ever since. Churro is like a kitty go-gurt pouch. Oh, yeah, I never heard of that, Scott. Yeah, I never heard of that. But I haven't had. I've had what, Molly, for like 3 years now, and you sure learn a lot what to do and what not to do. I had, because when I was in Arizona, I had dogs, right? I always had dogs. I didn't have cats. And now when my boys are little, I had kitty cats. I had 2 cats. I had, our little farm and stuff. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure what, like I said, I'm not sure what, I haven't changed her food or anything. So I don't know why she got sick or whatever. So let's see. So then we got, yeah, I'm hoping to get up in, yeah, get up in the air on the, somebody, let me see, somebody ding me here. I'm going to see who it is. Maybe it's Scooby-Doo or something. I don't know. I'm going to look here on my phone and see who it was, because I did message people today and about stuff. Oh, no. Okay. So trying to and get more subscribers and getting people, tell people to watch the show and all that stuff, because I do it for you guys and gals. But I have some interesting. I have some interesting little facts here too, which I thought would be kind of fun. I didn't know that, Sonny and Cher, I didn't know Cher is a big advocate trying to, she protects the elephants. Do you know that, Cher? She has a big, what do you call it? Save the elephants kind of thing. And she rescues elephants and all that stuff, which is really interesting. Because I don't even know. I was going to do more research on the elephants and see, if they're becoming extinct or not. I still have to do more research on that. I didn't go all too crazy tonight on different things because, I I knew there wouldn't be a whole lot of people in the chat. I know a lot of you are watching. I appreciate my viewers, my watchers, my watchers. I want to say hi to my family if you're listening. I love you. And Robert, if you're listening, I know a lot of times he's just getting home from work because 6 o'clock over there in San Diego. So a lot of times, he's either doing yard work now. He's got his house, or he's flying. He flies off his property and all that. So I just have to say hi to my family and my family downstate for listening. And what else? What's going on with everybody? What's going on? Jump in the chat. Say hi. I want to know about what you all been doing. I'm just excited about life now. I really am. Because it goes too fast. And I could sit here and, feel sorry for myself. Oh, I'm single now. I'm still single, and look how old I am, and how come, this and that, but I don't think like that anymore, because I try to stay busy, because they say you got to keep your mind busy and got to stay busy. Now I remember what I did on Saturday, Scott. Now I remember what I did. Scott said I lounged around today and I go back to work tomorrow. Now I remember what I did on Saturday. I hope my daughter-in-law is not listening, because she'd be like, really, Linda? Really? My daughter-in-law works at a nursing home, residence home, or whatever, extended living, whatever they call it. And where the people, they live there, can still live independently, or they have their own little, almost like their own little apartments in this place or whatever. And my daughter-in-law takes care of she does all the holiday parties and festivities and all that. So they were having, for Mother's Day or whatever, they were going to have a tea party. So my daughter-in-law asked me if I would go to the residence home and go with her to work for 5-6 hours or whatever to help set up for the tea party. Yeah, assisted living home, yes. And so yeah, I went with her for the day. Last Saturday is what I did, because I know Angela was asking me, what'd you do for your birthday? So Friday, Friday was lunch. We did a nice lunch, and then birthday lunch. And then Saturday, I went out to the assisted living home. And yeah, it really I really had fun. I felt like Martha Stewart, setting up the tables and stuff with the pink tablecloths and all that. And the pink tablecloths and the little teacups and the saucers, and then the little plastic dinnerware, of course, for the oldsters or whatever. And I met a lot of the ladies there, and I had a good conversation with one lady. And later on, I was talking to another gal that she does all the when they get up in the morning, and they have to do their exercises or whatever. She's like a trainer, fitness trainer, whatever, for the old people. And not that I'm old. I'm not old, no. And she was saying that the gal that I was talking to, she said, she goes, if you go and you go talk to her later or say hi to her or whatever, she won't remember you. And it really put things in perspective, I don't want to get depressed on all this, but it's just, dementia is it's a sad thing. There's a few of the residents that do have it in there, in that home or whatever, the assisted living. Most of them were pretty upbeat. It was, it really helped me put things in perspective, and it's sad that we're all getting older, right? We're not getting any younger. And yeah, I mean, I should go to the what do you call it? The Friendship Center, and start hanging out and make friends with people or whatever, and try to make friends with people and all that. Yeah, only the finest china. Yeah, it was cute. It was really cute little china. It was glass. I mean, it was a ceramic, china. But the the plates were just paper plates, and yeah, they had like they set up all different snacky things. They really enjoyed it. Scott says it's tough. My Gigi had Alzheimer's when I was growing up, and this staying the night at her house as a wee little one. Yeah, it's amazing. The gal that I did talk to at the assisted living, we had a really nice conversation, and she is 80 years old, and she was actually a school teacher. Yeah, she said she used to teach school out here. And yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad, Scott. And then I talked to a couple other ladies. I was sitting at a table with a couple other ladies, and there was another gal that was there, and her mom was sitting at the table with her, and her mom was 90, and she's been in that home for like 3-4 years. And then the other gal that was sitting with me it's only been there like 3 months, and she had her little terrier dog with her, and had a little dog, and so it was cute. So we had a nice conversation, but yeah, it really put things in perspective that we're all getting older, and I don't take anything for granted. I don't take my age for granted either. I'm blessed that God's still keeping me around, and as long as I am around, and that's why I always tell people, when you leave this earth, what kind of legacy are you going to? I want to leave a legacy, right? I want to leave a legacy, and I want to be known that that's nice to everybody. And I always want I want people to be happy, and I want people to succeed. That's me. There isn't a selfish bone in my body. Let me tell you. Now, I raised my 2 boys. They always came first in my life, and they always will. And that's how I look at it. And God has blessed me over and over again. He has. He really has. And I'm blessed to have the people that I do in my life, and the people that that I've crossed paths with when I was doing rodeo, right? Yeah, it goes fast. Life goes fast. It really does. And I, like I said, when I leave this earth, I want to leave a legacy. I want people to say, hey, yeah, I remember Paramount, yeah, I remember she was always this or that, and always had a smile on her face, and always encouraging people. And even my son Ryan gave me a Mother's Day card, and he wrote the most precious thing in my Mother's Day card that made me feel so good and made me cry. And I'm not going to read it because it's very personal, but he he's just like, he always says that he's stays strong because his mom is strong, and that's what you want. You want your kids to look up to you, and you want to encourage them. And yes, they're going to make mistakes growing up. Scott says, yeah, I'll probably be known as a grouch, but a grouch with a heart of love for those I care about. You do have a big heart, Scott. You have a big heart. Are you kidding? I can't imagine. You have a mean bone in your body. I really don't think, yeah, we all have our moods, right? Gosh, we all have our moods. Nobody's perfect. Goodness gracious. But, the day when I stopped drinking 3 years ago, my life started changing little by little, right? Day by day. And then when I gave myself to Jesus and I said, Jesus, you're my life. I want you to be a part of my life forever and ever. And I accepted Jesus. And from then on, my life has never been the same. I wake up, I just like little things are happening, just, and I know it's him, and but I have to laugh because, when we had the ice storms, I remember a month before the ice storms, I prayed that I could go and see my sister in Holland. And I did get to go see her, only because the ice storm, my power was knocked out. So, God said, well, you wanted to go see your sister, right? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. That's an interesting way to get me there. But yeah, so God works in mysterious ways. He does. And he always answers my prayers. And I always pray for everybody. Scott says, LOL, my wife sings the Mr. Grinch song about me, and her coworkers call me Mr. Scott. I love that. Mr. Grinch. You're not a Grinchy. I can't imagine you being a Grinchy. No way. No way, Scott. No way. Yeah, you live and learn, right? Like I said, my relationships and all that. Heck, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Both my boys still have a relationship with their dad, and I'm happy about that. They may not talk every day, but he's still their dad. And between both my exes, I don't hold any hate in my heart. I just don't. Because I can't, because life's too short. Too many people, they carry that bitterness their whole life. And why? Why? Yeah, both of them, when I got divorced, it hurt. It did. But was I going to carry that hate in my heart for the rest of my life? No, because that makes you get old fast too. When you're mad and angry at the world every single day when you get up, that shortens your life, And I want to live the rest of my life. I want to live my life out, I was just happy to get my new driver's license in the mail. So now I have it, I don't think I am, Scott says, but I've had people walk up and see me, look at them when I just get to work and then come back later. Yeah, believe me, when I'd go to work, I didn't want nobody really talking to me when I first get in the break room, clock in, right? And sometimes I don't know. I'd be at work, and if I was stressed, I'd have that look like I was mad at the world, and I was at work. And it would be just that I, be so into my focus, what I'm doing, that people, sometimes they come up through my register and say, who are you mad at today or something? And I'm like, I'm not mad. Or they go, how they do that? And they go, smile, come on. What's wrong? Come on, you need to smile more, girl. To tell me that all the time. And hi, Walter. My sugar in the house. Looks like I got Sugar and Scotty still here, and Bill H is still here. I'm sure they're, you guys are listening. I had Angela and Tony, and they stopped by to say hi. And I know they're super busy, so I get it. And everybody else, a lot of people are at the, at the Bad Apples, and I'm glad that they're all, enjoying their having a good time there and everything else. So I'm just happy to be here tonight and be safe and be with you all. And anybody who's just listening, who's never watched my show before, I'm Paramount USA, and this is Lindy's Treehouse, and I'm here every Thursday night, and you can at Eastern Standard Time, and you can find me on YouTube. I'm not on all kinds of platforms because I have StreamYard, and I just have basic StreamYard. And if you want to, do anything else, you got to pay extra. You got to pay extra for it. So Bill H says, love you, Paramount. Thanks, Bill H. I love you guys, too. I love my chatters. I mean, you guys have been with me since day one, And next week, when I get, my other chatters, get everybody else back here or whatever. Yeah, we can still celebrate my 50th show next week. It'll be 51 next week or whatever. But yeah, we can still celebrate my 50th show. Walter says, many pair family having fun at Bad Apples with Dave crazy. Yeah, Dave's crazy, all right. Cucamongas, cuckoo crazy, cray cray, whatever you want to call it, right? Oh my gosh. There's somebody that I forgot what he says on one of my podcasts. But yeah, he's cray cray. They're all crazy out there. So I can't believe they're all trying to foot drag in the water there. That's gross. That water has to be gross, right? Yeah, Walter. Love Dave, but yeah, that's a big BUT, right? Yeah. I hear you. You know, he's been he's been doing the shows on and off for a long time. He's been around for a while in the para world, and which is all cool. We've known him for quite a long time. So let's have my water. But I've known all my para peeps too. I've known all you for quite a while too. Yeah, Walter said he's great. Yeah, he is. I don't have nothing bad to say about nobody. You know what I'm saying? I think they have a great thing going there with that Bad Apples, and I'm glad that that every year it gets bigger and bigger, and yeah, it looks like it'd be really fun. But I had no means to get there, and I'm a glamper, so if I go to a fly and spend a whole weekend, I best be in a nice camper, not a tent, but be in a camper because I'm a glamper. Yes, and I'm just that way. I won't settle for anything else. Walter says he owes me stickers. Just saying. Oh yeah. You got to keep bugging him, I guess, right? I guess you have to keep bugging him about it. Did you know that a flamingo's head has to be upside down when it eats? I didn't know that. Yeah, flamingo's head has to be upside down when they eat. They're interesting, though. Interesting animals. And only half a dolphin's brain sleeps at a time. That's what I'm wondering with humans. I think sometimes half their brain is asleep. When I used to work retail and have to deal with the public, sometimes I think they were some of them were what are you looking at? Molly's looking at something. I hope the way she's watching, she looks for bugs. So I'm thinking she thinks she sees bugs or something. I don't know. So now that I have that AC unit in my bedroom window, now she's going to be watching for the bugs. But I got it all taped around, so I don't get no bugs in the house, in the bedroom if I can help it. I don't know. When I went out and did my walks to the bayfront last week, something bit me. When I came back, I had and even though I had a hat on, whatever, I had like a bite right up here. I had a bite here, and then I had a bite like by my ear, and it still itches. So somebody was saying that if you get a bug bite or whatever, if it starts itching, you put vinegar on it, and that works. If it starts itching, I just put vinegar on a paper towel and I tap it on my neck, and that seems to help. So I don't know what bit me, but I just remember coming home like, what the heck? Scott says they fly over the highway you drive on. See, I'm missing the chat here. Let me see. I'm going to look here. Oop. Oh, let's see. They fly. Oh, Scott says they fly over. Okay. Half brain asleep. Yeah, I'm telling you. When I worked retail, some of these people some of the past dates I would go on, I think half their brain was asleep. I think they were like half dolphins. Seriously. So how much do you think a blue whale weighs? A blue whale. How much do you think the blue whale weighs? Can you give me a guess? How much do you think a blue whale? Because I looked that up today. They're pretty massive animals. Blue whales. I should do some research on that next week too. Either half brain dead or they are Karens. That's true, Scott. Yeah, people, yes, dealing with the public, yes. 10 tons. Walter said, Scott says 10 tons. They said 290,000 to 330,000 pounds is the for blue whales. That's amazing, right? That is amazing. Gosh, who would think, right? Who would think that they weigh that much? So then I did some more fun facts. So we did the blue whale, right? And so far so good. No, I haven't seen no storms or lightning yet, so we're good. I'm watching, kind of keeping on the Weather Channel. A lot of it's downstate right now, the big storms, but we're going to talk about fun toe facts. Toe, T-O-E. No, like your toes, your feet, your toe. T-O-E, not T-O-W. Toe facts. And I didn't know this. It says that to sweat, feet have 250,000 sweat glands, making them one of the sweatiest parts of the body. Did you know that your feet are the sweatiest part of your body? I never knew that. Yeah, your feet are the sweatiest part of your body. You, right? Scott says, how about that whale that beached itself in Oregon in the 70s and they tried to blow it up with dynamite? I don't remember that. That's awful. Oh my God. Really? They would do that? Oh my gosh. Walter says a Tony, not a Tony. a Tony, Tony, T-O-W-N-E. It's T-O-E. And did you know that each toe has 3 bones, but the big toe only has 2? So all your toes, your little toes and all that, all have 3 bones, but the big toe only has 2. Oh, I know, Sky. So the whale was dead. That's still pretty gross. Ugh. Blow it up. The whale, like explosion, and have whale parts all over the beach. And that would be kind of yuck. And they said that the big toe is very important for balance. You got to have the big toe, okay? You may think that the big toe is not a big deal, but we do need the big toe. And then you need the pinky toe for the foot balance. So you need them both. You need the big toe and the pinky toe. But the worst part is, explain why it's so easy to break a toe. Yes, Scott. Yes. Yeah, I was just going to ask that. How many have broke a toe before? I never broke my toe, but I've lost a toenail. I lost a toenail once. It's pretty gross, right? Yeah. You get years of petties, and sooner or later it's going to take its toe on you. Get it? Take its toe. And yeah, I lost a toenail. The toe history is English word to digit of the foot. So the English word is digit of the foot. They call it digit the toe. Walter says, oh, you broke your toe before? Oh, that's painful. That's got to be painful. I still got notes here, and I already did that. Okay, so Yeah, I did some notes. Wearing thongs and flip flops. Yeah, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, you've all stubbed your toe. When I was growing up, you run around on the sidewalk and you stub your toe, and your mom would yell at you. I told you to put your shoes on. That's the most painful thing ever. Stub a toe. Oh my gosh. That or drop anything on your toes. There must be your feet are full of and your toes are full of nerve cells, right? I swear all your nerve cells go down in your feet because if I drop something on my foot or on my toe or whatever, and it can just be, I don't know, one time my water bottle rolled on my toe, and boy, I jumped out of my skin. It hurt. Yeah, just, things like that. There's a lot of nerves in your toes. Um, yeah, it hurts. Or, like your baby toe. You wouldn't think that the pinky toe, like how much damage could it do? How can it hurt, right? And yeah, it hurts. Or somebody will be walk by and they step on your foot. Well, at least if you have shoes on, it's not too bad. But man, remember breaking in? Okay, talking about feet. Remember when you were growing up and I would get a brand new pair of shoes for school, and that first day wearing your shoes to school, and it would keep rubbing, like the back, your heel, your ankle would keep rubbing on the back of the shoe, and you'd get like blisters by the time you got home. Oh my gosh, I remember. And you have to put a Band-Aid on the back of your foot, on the back of your like ankle, because you had those new shoes on, your new school shoes, and it was rubbing. Even though you had your socks on, it was rubbing on there. I remember when I was on vacation and with my sisters, and I just had tennis shoes on. I didn't put any socks on, and I had no idea we were going to go walking. Like, I thought we were just going to the store or whatever. And she decides, no, let's go walk. Well, I didn't have my shoes on, my socks on. I just had my tennis shoes, and we're walking around. And by it got to be within an hour, it was so painful because the back of my heel, my foot, because I didn't have socks on, was rubbing on the back of my shoe, my tennis shoe. And yeah, it was pretty sore. It was like I couldn't even walk anymore. I'm like, I want to take my shoes off. I wanted to take my shoes off so bad. But I didn't want to walk around, on the sidewalk with no shoes. So live and learn, right? Got to put those socks on with your shoes, especially if you have new shoes and all that. And then I learned as you get older, there's some shoes you can wear and some you can't for balance, balance issues or whatever. Because as you get older, yeah, your balance is not the same anymore. And I learned that too. Scott says I did it half asleep, didn't notice, and found blood on the floors in the house. Oh gosh. Yeah, that would hurt. That's why even with Molly, I have to keep socks on my feet when I walk around the house because she'll bite my feet. She likes to bite my feet. And then I got used to keeping socks on my feet because when I had my doggies, when I was in Arizona, the big dogs always wanted to walk on my feet. So when they would walk on my feet, you'd feel it. Yes. Even the little one, my Chunks, same thing. Even though he was little, when he'd step on my feet, I felt it. So, yeah. You got to, or more of the story is you got to keep, I just protect my feet now. That's for darn sure, right? But yeah, going back to, at the residence home and getting older and the balance issue and all that. Yeah, your balance, you got to be careful with your balance too. And then my vertigo issues, but my vertigo's been doing okay. I think the only time my vertigo like flares up is when I'm stressed. If I'm really stressed, my anxiety level. my vertigo acts up. And but people say you have vertigo and you went up in you went up in a paramotor. When I go up in the air, I look like down. I kind of look down. I don't look way up, like turn my head back and look in the sky, because then I would get dizzy. So I just look down, and as long as you're not doing any, look down in the ground and stuff. As long as you're not doing any fancy things, up in the air, any fast moves, I'm good. And so far, when I've had people, take me up in the air, it's been good, because they're not up there to compete or whatever, and you're sitting in a trike, and so yeah, there's a little more weight there, and all that stuff. So I've always had really good flights with my when I went up the first time and paramotoring, and went on a trike and did my first tandem, and that was with Eric Lear. And then I went back the next year. Walter said, I bought a pair of boots in the USA, wore them for 2 hours in Vegas, and had to change shoes that night. Never wore again. Sold them in Australia. Oh, wow. Yeah. You mean cowboy boots? Yeah, you gotta break those in. That's for sure. Yeah, you gotta break those in. I've got several pairs of boots, but I really don't wear them, like cowboy boots. I don't wear them much anymore, because, your balance, it changes your balance. You got to have good traction on the bottom of your boots as it is. And, then you think of like the balance issues and all that. So, I actually found a really cute pair of they're ankle boots, I guess you call them, that I bought in Arizona, and I forgot that I bought them. And Walter says they broke my feet in NAR. You broke your feet in where? I'm reading the chat. Thank you for, I'm glad you guys are hanging with me tonight. I appreciate everybody that stopped by the chat tonight. I really do. I have to be up early in the morning, so I got an appointment with my eye specialist. So we'll see what's going on there. So yeah, as you get older, yeah, the brain goes, eyesight goes, everything goes, right? Hearing, had to see my hearing doctor. Make sure got my hearing aids clean and everything, and call it like an oil check, right? You got to keep everything maintenance. Walter says it's 11 o'clock. Oh, so it's 11 o'clock right now for you. Yeah, you're already. So you're in your winter time, right, Walter? In Australia, it's winter. It's winter time, right? Isn't it winter time in Australia? That's what yeah, that's right, because you guys are the opposite of us or whatever. Yeah, it's supposed to get, like I said, it's getting pretty stormy downstate. I got it on my TV, so they're getting hit downstate right now, and that's where my family is. So I hope everybody's staying safe and all that good stuff. But yeah, every week I have fun talking to everybody and chatting and all that stuff. And that's right, Greg Laney's in he's at Bad Apples too. So a lot of my chatters are over there at Bad Apples right now. So I'm just saying, because I know they're going to listen to the show later, and I just want to say hi to all my chatters over there at Bad Apples. I love you guys bunches. I'm glad that you're all having a good time, and y'all be safe. And then I'm sure they're going to talk about it when Shane gets back. We can watch his show on Tuesday nights. And never trust the skinny chef Shane. No filter. Tuesday night hangout. Scott says, I worked in the factories the last 20 years, and luckily I still have good hearing. Me paying attention is another story. Me and you both. I know how I lost my hearing. And that's when my second ex and I, ex-husband or whatever, we had our own karaoke company. So, yeah, we had these big old speakers and that we'd have to put up, and we had brought all our own equipment, obviously, and we had to play the music like super loud. And I remember doing our karaoke shows, and this was before the no smoking ordinance or whatever. And I remember coming home smelling like a smokestack. And I didn't even smoke, And so, yeah, it was pretty crazy. And then running those loudspeakers, for our show, karaoke show. Hey, Will Fly. Hey, dude. Will Fly says, hello, everyone. It's been a crazy day here at Bad Apples. Love y'all. Thanks, Will. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you were watching because I stayed on to see if anybody was going to stop by and say hi from Bad Apples. That's cool. That's really cool. I'm happy that you're here. Yeah, we're just kind of chilling and talking about my hearing and hearing aids and whatnot. And Scott says, hey, won't fly. I mean, will fly. That's right. Yeah. So I was just talking about, why I got hearing aids and when I used to run my karaoke shows and all that loud music, right? I think that's pretty much. And then, of course, working in a warehouse for how many years, right? The forklifts and going by every day, all those little things, and that'll do it. And the concerts, going to those rock concerts when I was, a teenager and all that. And yeah, there's a lot of people that I know that can't hear for crap or whatever, and they refuse to, well, they don't, they want to get hearing aids, but they can't afford them, right? I was just blessed enough that 2020, when I got ready to retire, one of my hearing aids went bad. So I went to get them checked out or whatever. And they said they didn't make that model hearing aid anymore. And so they said I was going to need a new pair. And come to find out, my insurance at the time, Aetna, paid for my hearing aids, my insurance company. That was 2020, May of 2020. So I still had insurance. And what a good time for my hearing aids to break, right? Because I still had my medical insurance from Home Depot. And so when it came time to get in my new set, which has a microchip in it, my hearing aids have a microchip in it, I didn't have to pay anything. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So I'm very blessed because you're talking $6,000 sitting in my head right now. Easily $6,000. And you know what else? I just realized I've only had one hearing aid in all night. So good thing that you guys weren't trying to talk. Or if I'm talking louder, it's because I only have one hearing aid in. Because when I'm at home, I don't need to be amplified, always amplified. So I have the other one out in my little box or whatever. So I only have one hearing aid in right now. But usually when I go out walking or whatever, I have them both in, obviously, right? Or when I go to my son's, make sure I stay amplified. So I'm not going, what? So thank God that I could just read the chat and I don't have. So Will Fly, did you fly today? Did you get to fly? Or are you just being the bystander this year? Are you flying at all? Will Fly in the fly? Walter says, hi, Will, saw Dave Crazy and Gorilla Live. It looked crazy on the ground and sky. So yeah, Will, did you get to fly if you're listening? Hi, everybody at Bad Apples, if you're listening. Greg Laney. Hi, Greg Laney, if you're listening. Greg Laney, David Wolf, Gorilla, Jeff, Nick J, Shaney. Everybody's there. That's cool. I'm glad you guys are having a good time. Just be safe, right? Be safe, 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 safe. Yes. So, Will, I'm hoping to well, next week, yes. Will, you're here for my 50th. This is my 50th show, Will. And anybody at Bad Apples listening, this is my 50th show. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty proud of myself. I couldn't do it without all you, following me every week and supporting me, and not literally, supporting, you know what I mean, but just being there for me every week. I wouldn't have the show without you, right? I mean, I could try and have a show without my chatters, but then they wouldn't be any fun. So I'm glad that everybody comes back. All my chatters come back every week, every Thursday. You've been with me since day one, and I'm forever grateful to all of you. All of you. It's almost 10 o'clock, but I'm still gonna hang here for a little bit longer. See what you guys want to talk about. And see if anybody else, jumps in the chat and says hi or whatever. Walter says, yes, all bad apples, play safe. Yes, yes. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm talking about my hearing aids and stuff. But what are you going to do, right? 70 never felt so good. 70 never felt so good. I tell you what, it only gets better. It only gets better. And you got to take care of yourself. You only have you, right? So you got to take care of yourself. Physically and mentally. You just have to take care. And surround yourself with good people. Don't hang out with the Karens and the big the negative Nellies and all that. Stay away from all that. Okay, I'm telling you, my peeps. Just enjoy life, right? And all my single peeps out there, just enjoy life. You don't need that man in your life to, make you happy and all that. And if you do find you're happy, I'm happy for you, right? But I choose to find my own happy, and that's my own happy is happy inside of me. I love where I live, and I love life, and that's all. That's important, right? I get out and do my walks, and when I can't, when it's beautiful out, and I think I retired at just the perfect time. I didn't want to wait to retire, when I was 75. You retire at 75, you make it that long, and then you're done, And so I think I retired just in time to really start enjoying life. And ever since I moved to Michigan, like I said, God had better plans, Walter said, Gorilla said, first day attendance more than last year of 340. That's cool. That's cool. That's because they take care of their people there. They take care of their people. Scott says, people think I'm negative, but those negative Nancys annoy the hell out of me. It's not that bad. At work, it's like, come on, it's just French fries. Lighten up. There you go, Scott. There you go. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, working at Home Depot 30 some years, right? Believe me, I dealt with a lot. I put up with a lot of, and a lot of them wanted to get me in management and wanted me to be a head cashier and all this. And I said, heck no, you can have all that responsibility. I did not want anything to do with it. I just, because I'm too nice. I can't imagine, trying to be a manager or something, of a company. I'm a manager of my own company, like right here. This is my domain. This is mine, right? Lindy's Treehouse. Yeah. And I don't have, it's paid for. My Lindy's Treehouse is paid for. Think about it. It's paid for. And yeah, that's how I look at it. Um, and every once in a while, Lindy's Treehouse is fun because a lot of times we all get around the campfire. And next week we'll have a campfire, and we'll just pretend we're all by the campfire and we can talk about, I'll get some things going with fun facts next week, and we'll do some trivia and all that. And because, like I said, people are watching. If you get in the chat, you can win some stuff. So you got to make sure that you get in the trivia and come back and play some games and stuff. Scott says, I have zero ambition to be a manager at work. I'm fairly introverted and I don't like to give speeches and address people. Yeah, it's not for everybody. Yeah, I get it. I think, I don't know. I found a lot of favoritism when I was working. And yeah, and then when the younger girls started coming in working, some of the managers, the guy managers, tried to, move me around different places because they wanted the young girls to be closer, kind of thing. They had their favorites, and it wasn't right. They started messing with my hours and everything, and it was bad. It was bad management sometimes, I think. I'm like, where do they find these people? And they need to go back to learn how to treat people. That's how I always looked at it. But it was a learning experience. It was I was very loyal to the company, obviously. Yeah, there was times where I wanted to quit. I'm glad I didn't, but I stayed loyal to the company, and they offered a lot of things, and I made a lot of friends. That's one thing I never did, was I would never go out and party with people I worked with, especially supervisors, right? And you'd see that a lot. They'd all go out to the bar after work, and I never did that. Even on when I worked, I never had anybody on my Facebook that I worked with because I had to keep that separate. I just didn't. Yeah, Scott says the young girls get away with murder because the older males enjoy the butt kiss. Yeah, yep, yep. I remember. Yeah, I remember that. Yep. I was I was on the side of the store, and you've seen when you walk Home Depot, where the contractor registers for the contractors, and that's where I worked. And I loved it. I loved working with the guys, and I worked at the pro desk, and I had to do phone sales and all that. Well, then some of the young girls started coming in, Scott, and yeah, they started. I had a set schedule, everything, and they started moving me around and changing my schedule. And because they had their little favorites, and I wouldn't put up with no crap, and I wasn't one to kiss butt, I was not a brown noser, as the saying goes, when I worked there. And so, and they knew it. And yeah, some of the stuff was just wrong. So when I retired, I think I was ready, right? I was ready. Scott says I work harder than them and get my butt chewed out if I didn't work harder than I needed to. I know. It's like the longer you're there, the more they expect of you, right? But longevity means nothing anymore. I learned that too. You think, because I was with the company for so long that, they would just let me do my job, right? I even had, they had cashier trainers, and they took the cashier trainers away. And so it was just, I had to do the training, but I never got paid. I never got any extra money for it because I was training people. You were just expected to do it, right? So that's the work. that's the working way now. And I'm just happy I'm retired now, and I feel for the young people, that are working. Um, but I'm finding though when I go to Walmarts or whatever that the people working at the registers are my age. They're easily in their 60s. So where are all the kids? Where are all the college kids and stuff? How come they're not working there? They're working at these places, and they're saying, oh, there's a work shortage, or there's people don't want to work anymore. And yeah, they want all that big money, but they don't want to work, and it's bad. Been on my job 16 and a half, good for 16 and a half years, Scott said. That's awesome, Scott. Congratulations. That's very good. That goes fast too. Look at me, 30 some years, right? I got hired at Home Depot in 1987. And I retired in 2020. So what does that tell you? So my boys grew up with Home Depot. They did. And they did. I have to say Home Depot took care of me. Yeah, they did. They took care of me. I always had really good medical insurance, and I'm sure that's gone away. I got grandfathered in, so that I was still able to keep all my vacations and everything. And yeah, it is, Scott. Yeah, 1987, I got hired on, and then I retired in 2020. Walter says we got ripped at work, Linda. Wish I knew then what I know now. Miss big money. Crap. Yep, I know, Walter. I think I kind of, as far as the money wise, yes, I should have been making a lot more than I was. Yeah, all the corporate stuff, right? But I had let's see, Scott says the oldest worker at our plant is almost 50 years old. Yeah, 50 is not old. Yeah, you have a lot. I noticed that a lot of when we did hire people, they were people 65 or older that were semi-retired, and they just wanted part-time job or just keep busy. And yeah, I still see that at the Home Depot over here, retirees or whatever, part-time or whatnot. But no, I don't choose to go back to work. I'm doing just fine, what I'm doing now, and I don't need a car because I've got my little shuttle bus gets me around to my appointments and stuff. And if I can't do that, if I can't get an appointment, I have my son that helps me. So my son that lives nearby. So yeah, I don't need I don't need a vehicle. But yeah, I learned a lot, 30 some years. Yeah. And then when you get ready to leave on your last day, they give you a pizza party and a little badge and say, see ya. Scott says, no, she's worked there almost 50 years. My phone added the old weird. Yeah, that's the AI. AI will do that. But anyways, I guess we're going to call it a night. And I really enjoyed everybody stopping by Lindy's Treehouse tonight. And if you're listening, it was just kind of a chill night tonight. Just talking about different stuff and just, never give up, right? Just keep striving and just be happy, right? Just be happy, enjoy life. I have to tell you, because at my age right now, which I never thought I would, So think about it. When I started Home Depot, I was in my 30s, right? My boys were just I was able to stay home with my boys, and then when they're old enough when they go to school, then yeah, I took them to. I was able to go back to work when they went to school. Walter says our stores were large, and I saved the building company 2.5 months of build, and our company saved them millions, and then had to do a second store and got no extra. Yeah, I understand that, Walter. Yep, I understand that. Yeah, I remember they used to beg me, to overtime. Hey, can you stay later? We'll give you overtime. And then they, even 2020, they stopped doing that. And look at I retired just when the COVID was still going strong, right? I was so glad to get out of there then. I knew I was ready. Um, I knew I was ready to retire because I wasn't happy there anymore, and if you're not happy, and I had to plan it out just right. So, um, yeah. So just do me a favor, when you go out, when you're out in the world and everything, you want to go where everybody knows your name, right? When you see people, my motto of the show is, you want to build somebody up, right? Put their insecurities to sleep, just walking by somebody, you hold the door for somebody or whatever, and somebody holds the door for you, say thank you, thank you for doing that. When you go through a checkout, sometimes you actually have a checker, you always tell them, have a good day. Thank you. Have a good day. It's not that hard. And remind the people that you see that they're worthy. Scott says you never get fairly compensated for going above and beyond, and they kiss your butt to get you to do it. Yep, that's true. And then tell them they're incredible. Be a light in a too often dim world. So I'm going to tell you all out there in Paraland, I'm going to tell you right now, okay? All right? Be a light in a too often dim world, right? Tell them they're incredible. So be a light. So you all are incredible. All right? I'm going to tell you right now, y'all are incredible. You come and you watch my show every week. Every Thursday night on Paramount USA. This is Lindy's Treehouse. I'm here every Thursday because we are thankful and we talk about thankful things, right? So I'm thankful for all you. So be a light in somebody's life, right? I want to be a light in your life. Walter said 9 months to 6.5 months twice, a lot of work 24/7. Yeah, no doubt, Walter, no doubt. I worked 40-hour weeks. Yeah, I worked 40-hour weeks. It was tiring. Being on my feet for 8 hours every single day. It was tiring. But that's one thing. I'm still good friends with one of my coworkers that was my supervisor. She's in Florida now, but we're still really close. Scott says, I show up and do what I have to now to keep my job. I'm done going above and beyond. Yep. There you go, Scott. That's what I started doing too. I just go in there and do my job. That's it. Yep. I totally get it. Because they always look for the young ones. Yeah, the young kids or whatever. Same with my sister, and she worked in retail, at Macy's or whatnot. And they kept demoting her, moving her around too, and all being, all the young girls were coming in. They were all trying to replace her. So next week, okay, so Tuesday night, we have Tuesday night hangout with Shane, Will Fly, and Nick J. All right, on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we have Lindy's Treehouse, right? And then on Friday, we have Scuba Bakes with Scuba and Munchkin. So it's always a full week. And I love hanging out with everybody. And I love having you guys, follow my show every week too. So I just want to say I'm very grateful for your support, and your loyalty means the world to me. And I thank you for being a part of my journey. Really, your loyalty means the world to me, everybody. I had Scott in the house tonight, Walter, Shiga from Australia. I had Bill H. We had Cowboy John stop by. We had Will Fly. He stopped by. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Scotty, Walter, Will Fly, Bill H, Cowboy John. You guys are awesome. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next Thursday. I'll plan another fun show. And then hopefully, yeah, because we've got the holiday weekend coming up, that hopefully I can get up in the air so that the next show I can talk about my flight, my tandem, my fourth tandem. So we'll see. Shout out to Jade, and Eric if you're listening, and Deweese if you're listening, and happy birthday, Eric Lear. I hope you had a great birthday. We love you bunches. And then we had Tony and Angela. Tony and Angela stopped in the chat tonight too. So you guys you're so cool. You really are. I always read one last thing, right? And yeah, I hope I do get to fly. I do. So we'll see. Because it does cost money to fly, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll see what I'll see when I get there, because it's a charity thing too. So all the money they get when they take people up in the air goes to a charity. So it's a big charity event. And so they're really not, the people that are taking, the tandems are really not making any money off of this. All the money is going to proceeds. So Tracy and Tim, who run the fly-in, always have all kinds of charities that they give to. So they're super awesome people. And so I'm super excited to see them. So let's say, let me read something real quick, and then we're going to call it a night. I'm not looking forward to tonight because I know we're going to have crazy lightning, and I hate lightning storms. Okay, so this one says, everyone has an agenda. Maybe it will help if you remember that to better understand a person involves being aware of the depth of their needs. People are like clocks, and here's the interesting part of it. You can look them in the face and get an idea of what's going on at the time, but the essential thing is figuring out what makes them tick. So y'all go out there, follow your hopes and dreams while you can. All right. And yeah, make sure you follow those dreams. You do what makes you happy, right? As long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting anybody else. You do what makes you happy. Don't look for other people for happiness, for your happiness, right? Happiness has to start inside. That's it. I learned. 70 years old, I'm learning. Happiness starts inside. Okay. I can't look at another person, some guy would say, man, I would be like totally happy if I was with him. I know I would be happy. That's not how, you can't put your happiness in somebody else's pocket. Okay. And I learned that. Yeah. Lessons learned. So y'all get out there. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you next Thursday or on the shows coming up. I'm Paramount USA. This is Lindy's Treehouse. And make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button, peeps. Get your friends to stop by. Come by next week, and we'll try and win some stuff. And Walter's Linda, I'm working hard at it. Going to be 69 next month. Yep, you're right behind me. Yep. Good, Walter. Yes, please take care of yourself. Walter, are you still smoking? I just need to know. Did you quit smoking? Because that's the next thing. I'm glad I don't smoke. I'm glad I quit drinking 3 years ago. Made a big difference in my health. Because to me, and I wonder why I was depressed all the time. Because I was, thought I had to have that drink every day. And now I don't Yeah, I don't have to have that drink every day. 4 or 5 o'clock, I have my iced coffee, and I'm good. I'm good to, good for the afternoon. So, um, yeah. But yeah, just do what makes you happy. Keep doing your thing, all that stuff. And I'm gonna say good night. I'm hoping you're not. I hoping you don't still smoke, Walter, because I think the last time, well, that it's been a while since Sean's show, right? Yeah, since uh, Sean Simon's show. Yes, seems like that's been like forever. But actually, it's only been a year, right? June last year was when he stopped doing the show. Um, Walter, yes, just as I was lighting up, you have ESP. Huh? Walter, you need to stop that. You need to quit smoking. You're getting too old to be smoking. It's bad for you. It's bad for you. I'm just saying. Okay. Just my advice. You need to stop smoking. And I'm glad I never started up that. And I'm glad I was able to quit drinking when I did. I really am. Um, I just decided, I didn't enjoy it anymore. And yeah, I didn't enjoy it. That was it. And I told God, take it. I don't want to drink anymore. And I just stopped. And I prayed about it. And I stopped and I never looked back. 3 years later, I didn't go to AA. I didn't go to those AA classes, whatever. Um, you know, my self-help book was my Bible, right? And yeah, I didn't go to all that one day at a time, this and that. I didn't watch any videos of one day at a time, all that. I just decided, I didn't want to drink anymore. And that was it. That was it. So I can't tell you all what to do. And if whatever you're dealing with, you have to do it when you got to do it when you're ready. You got to, when you're ready to quit smoking, you quit smoking. You're ready to stop drinking, you stop drinking, right? Nobody can make you do it. Nobody forced me to quit drinking. I just did it because I wanted to start taking better care of myself. I could party with the best of them. Don't get me wrong. Really. But I just decided I wasn't having fun with it anymore. And I was waking up feeling crappy every day. And you know, too used to grabbing that glass of wine every single day. And it wasn't just one glass, Maybe I was drinking 2 or 3 glasses every day. But I thought, oh, I'll get off the hard stuff and I'll start just drinking wine every day. And I could do it like clockwork, come home, start drinking. And when I worked, same thing. I'd come home at 3 o'clock, start drinking till like 7 o'clock at night. I'd stop drinking because I knew I had to get up early in the morning. So yeah, it was nothing to, there's no such thing as I'll just drink on the weekends. And so, like I said, 3 years ago, I just decided I didn't need it anymore. So there you go. If that is encouraging to anybody, we all got to do it on your own. And I'm just proud of myself that I stopped because I lost too many friends to that disease. Really did. Yeah, I lost too many friends that way. And so I want to start living longer, right? Walter said, that's great, Linda. I'm losing use with it. Need to give it up. I smoke. Chop, chop, cheap. Yeah, that's all right. You do it when you're ready, Walter. Okay? You quit smoking when you're ready. Like I said, it was my choice to quit drinking. Nobody forced me. I did it. I just decided that I was done with it. And I'm saving a lot of money. That's for dang sure. Good Lord. Those big old wine boxes. I was drinking those wine boxes, You buy the wine box. It was like $17 a box, And I'll tell you honestly, people, I was going through a box of wine every week, once a week. I could I could start drinking on Wednesday, and by the following Wednesday, I would go out and buy another box. Seriously, I'm not ashamed to say it either. So, it just got to be, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And then when I'd run out, I was like a person like smoked cigarettes. As soon as I knew I was getting low on wine, I would get I have anxiety attacks, like, oh my God, I only have so much. I won't go to the store till 2 days, in 2 days, and I'm out, but, yeah, Walter, true story. And so then I knew that I prayed about it, and I knew I had to stop. I knew I had to stop. And I know it was stress, that's why I drank like I did. But I didn't drink to, get drunk. I just, because I just liked it. It made me feel good for a while, right? Only for a while. And then it got to be where I didn't like it anymore, I was starting to get really depressed, and I knew it was time to, like I said, I knew it was time to stop. And it's easy. I didn't have any side effects at all. I thought, I was scared to stop, because you think, oh, if you stop, you're going to get all the hallucinating, all that. But I wasn't like a hard drinker, as the saying goes, I did like my wine, but I wasn't like a hard drinker. So, I, like I said, I just decided I didn't need it anymore. And I started feeling, it took me about a few weeks. Okay. I kid you not. I was having a hard time falling asleep because I was used to having that alcohol in my system. Right. And that was like a drunk sleep, I guess you'd call it. Right. I wouldn't drink till I passed out or nothing. I would just sit and watch TV, and you didn't realize you just sipping your wine. Right. And I could get up in like clockwork. By the afternoon, I could start, I'd start drinking again. And I finally decided I don't need this anymore. All I'm doing, I'm hurting my body, and so, yeah, so I just stopped. So praise God. And I stay strong in the word. I stay strong in the Lord, and I'm not ashamed of that. And the man upstairs is the one that keeps me going, keeps me who I am today. That's it, and I'm blessed. I have a pastor's son that I can pray with whenever I need to. He keeps me grounded. And Walter says, yes, I see many friends that don't like people that overdo, and some agree, and some same issues from last 30 years. Exactly. Yep. And I found, God has our back. That's right, Walter. He sure does. And I pray to him every day. And I thank my blessings, and I always pray for God to give me a better prayer life, because I'm not perfect. And he's always come through, he's always come through. And he put me right where I need to be, Walter. He's the one that got me to Michigan, not me. God had this plan the whole time, and I kept fighting it because I thought, oh, I got to stay in Arizona, I got to stay with my husband. Well, he didn't want me anymore. So anyway, God pulled me out of that situation, got me here. And when they say thank God for you thank God, like the song, thank God for unanswered prayers. I thank God for unanswered prayers. Yes. Yep. I do. Because I wouldn't be sitting here now. I might have still been sitting in Arizona by myself. So I'm very blessed. And I decided, like I said, 3 years ago, to turn my life around. And it's blessing after blessing. So I want you all, I'm going to get going here, and I want you all to go out there and be a blessing too, okay? Be a blessing. All right. And yeah, just like Robert says, read your Bible, go to church, tell somebody about Jesus. It's that easy. It's that easy. And I'm telling you about Jesus right now. It's that easy. That's all I'm going to say. God's waiting. He loves his children. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. And with open arms, and he's waiting to bless you. And he has been blessing me, blessing after blessing. So I have to say, yeah. So if I don't see you on the air, right? If I don't see you on the air, I'll see you in the air. See, I can say that now. I finally said it right. That's why you have this treehouse. God loves you. That's right. Yep. God loves me. Yes, he does love me. And this is why I have my treehouse. And the name fits, right? Because of my upstairs apartment. I'm upstairs, so this is my treehouse. I love life. I love y'all. Like I said, I care about everybody. I can't carry hate in my heart for everything that's happened, and it's only made me made me stronger, right? It only made me stronger. So yeah, I hope I can get a flight in. I might have to I might message Alexis and see if I'll see if she'll take me up when I get there, when I go there or whatever. Or I'll message her or whatever, because she said they're going to be there to people up. Because last year, Keith and Kat, they weren't there at church last year. So Keith and Kat took me up at the goodness of their heart. I love you, Keith and Kat. Thank you so much. That meant the world to me. And they just did it, they just said, hey, you want to go up in the air? We'll take you up in the air. And that was it. So, or somebody put a little bug in their ear and found out that I wanted to go flying, and they took me up. She took me up. So it's pretty cool. So why not, right? For my 70th birthday celebration. And oh yeah, I almost forgot. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. On Facebook, I was like overwhelmed by all the birthday wishes. Seriously, you really know how to make a girl feel loved. And Walter says they all love you, Paramom. I like that, Paramom. Yes, yeah, I was pretty overwhelmed because I have my para peeps and then I have my rodeo peeps that I've known, for a long time, and yeah, we all check on each other, and I'm very blessed. I have a very blessed life. So anyway, I will see you. It's after 10. I will see you all next week, right? We'll see you on Shaney's show next week, and then Thursday's my show, and then Friday's Scooby Doo if he has a show, if he's not flying or whatever. We'll watch Scuba Babe. So y'all be safe. All right. Much love. Go out and make somebody's day. Okay. Yeah. Tell them they're special. Make somebody's day. So I will see y'all later. Have a good day, Walter, because it is tomorrow in Australia. And I'm hoping we don't have a bad lightning storm tonight, but we'll see. So I'm going to shut everything down. So anyway, love y'all. Thank you so much again for all the birthday wishes and everything. And y'all be safe and Bad Apples Land. Okay. Everybody get along and don't crash in the water or whatever. Okay. All right. I want y'all to come back in one piece. So peace out. And y'all have a great evening and a great rest of your week. Much love. Okay. Bye. See you later. Bye-bye.